Creating Google Slides Classwork for Google Classroom, the basics for teachers. Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through Google Slides and how you can use resources that maybe you purchase somewhere or find for free somewhere, or how you can make your own resources using Google Classroom to use digitally, as well as turning any PDF into a Google Slides document that your students can then get on and interact with and change. So first, I'm just going to take you through some pretty basic Google Slides documents that I have created, and then I'm going to take you through a few that I might have purchased, and then some that I've just found for free. So the first one I want to show you is a video games opinion performance task. In this Google Slides document, it's very basic. Everything in this document is actually live and students can manipulate it. The next slide is the directions for the assignment. Here is a pretty cool feature that you can start to do. So these are basically just text boxes, and here is a rectangle. So a shape was used to build this, and then a link was included right here so that the student can click on this shape and actually open the source for this writing prompt into a PDF. I will also be showing you how you can take PDFs such as this and making them into a Google slide. So that will be coming later in the video. So this is kind of one example, and then here it's just got some slides for notes, a pre-writing slide, graphic organizer. Again, this is just made with shapes. Then a slide for the rough draft, final draft directions, and that students need to create a Google document. Now, if you have students downloading from a hotspot, it's very important that you go ahead and create that Google document for them. So this is one example of how you can use Google Slides for digital learning. Let me show you more. Another way that you can use digital slides for learning, this is another performance task. In this performance task, I have actually taken a PDF and I have converted the PDF into images and then inserted the images into the slideshow. Now it does, or it may look a little blurry, but you just need to teach your students here that they can zoom in at 100% and the quality of text becomes much clearer and much more readable and usable. So this is again another way that you can give students assignments using Google Slides, and students will just write, they will type right into the slide. So this is another example. The same thing. Here is an example of a math assignment that would be used using Google Slides. So what this teacher has done is they have created a document or a slideshow using PowerPoint to insert all of these graphics, and then they're saving that PowerPoint as individual images, and then they are inserting the background, and then these right here are just individual pictures that the teacher has inserted for the students to move and manipulate throughout. So you can always find little images. One way to find quick images is just to go to Insert, Image, and then you can search the web and you could look for fish clip art. And there's going to be a ton of different options. Maybe, I mean, and it doesn't have to be all cutesy, like this is purchased clip art that is in this slideshow, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can find whatever fish you want to use, and you could probably find backgrounds for free if you just use Google Images. Again, if you don't want to go through all that trouble, you can find a lot of good freebies like this on Teachers Pay Teachers and other websites. So that is another example of how you can make Google Slides more interactive. Another example of how you can use Google Slides interactively. This is a math project, and you'll notice that in this project, students can manipulate each text box and they can list their family members. They could then add their age. that needs to be a little bigger, and so forth. And so again, this is another example of how you could use Google Slides as an assignment on Google Classroom. So the next thing I want to show you is how you can take, perhaps you have a file just like this, but it's a PDF and you want to use it as an assignment on Google Classroom. So that is going to be the next thing that I show you. Okay, so the first step to making any PDF into an interactive slideshow for students is to go to your Google Drive and you're going to create a new Google slideshow. Once you've created your slideshow, you need to go to File. Go ahead and close all these theme boxes. To get to File, if it's not showing, you just click this arrow. Go to File, Page Setup. You're going to change widescreen down to Custom. You're going to make the width 8.5, the size of a piece of paper, and the height 11. Then you're just going to click to the side. You can press Control or Command A to select all the text boxes, and then just hit backspace to get rid of those. Then you will need as many slides. You can select one slide, press Control Copy, and paste that slide as many times as you need. We need about 15 or 16 slides for our document. The next thing you're going to do is you can go ahead and title. This is going to be the 7 Years War Text Structure, Passages, and Graphic Organizers. So I like to be very specific in my titles because I use the search to find a lot of things. So this is the PDF that I am going to insert into my Google slideshow. I've already printed it as a PDF, and to do that, you click Save as PDF, and then you will print the pages that you need to print, and it will save directly to your computer. Now, to make that PDF into images, you need to just go to Google and you will search for Convert PDF to JPEG or JPG. I believe it's the PDF to image that you want to go to. This one does work, but you can only do like 2 per hour, and then you have to pay. And this one is completely free. So PDF to image.com. You can open that. Once you get there, you will upload that PDF that you're wanting to turn into a Google slideshow. It will upload and it will save all the pages as separate images. Now that your files have uploaded, you want to download the zip file, and it will show up as a folder. Once you open that folder, you will have individual images for every page of your PDF. Now, with these images, you have 2 options. Option number 1 is that you can actually slide each image into the slide. So let me show you what I mean by that. Please don't judge how dirty my desktop is. You'll go to your PDF, or I'm sorry, your Google Slideshow. Then you'll go to the folder with your zips and you'll literally just slide them over. So that is option number 1, to put every page of the PDF onto the slideshow. Option number 2 is to go here and select each individual image, and you can also slide these over as the background of the slide. Now the differences. The difference between this is this image will not move. It is the background of the slide. And the only way that you can duplicate or make that background again is just to duplicate the slide. Now, this is not the background. This is just the picture on top of the slide, and students would be able to move this image. Now, you can teach your students not to move the images, but you could also spend the extra 2 seconds that it takes to just insert the images as the background. But I am not going to judge. I do it sometimes where I just throw the picture on top of the slides and call it good. So you can do it both ways. Now, once you have each individual image on the slide, that is when you can add text boxes. If your boxes are empty like these are, you can just simply add a box and then type here. Once you have a standard format for the box, or the text box rather, you can then just copy and paste that same text box over and over again until you have enough text boxes to fill all of the boxes. And then once you do one page, if there are similar pages, you can copy and paste those same text boxes over that page. On this page, you would want to have a text box here for your student's name, so they could write their name, and you could make it much larger, like 30, actually bigger than that. And that is essentially the basics of how you make any PDF into a Google Slides document. So a couple more things that I want to share is I went ahead and added all of the photos to the rest of this assignment. And whenever you have lines on a PDF that you want to remove because now it's a digital assignment, the way that you can do that is you can actually put a text box right over the lines. And then you can go up here to the paint bucket and you can make the paint bucket white, and it fills the text box with a white background so that way your students don't get confused and see the lines. Now they can move the text box and then the lines will show up, but as long as they move the text box back to where it belongs or they don't delete it, they shouldn't have any problems. So that is one way to get rid of lines if you're using a PDF that does include pre-lined paper. Now I wanted to show you one more assignment turned into a Google slideshow. So again, the first thing you need to do is go create a new slideshow. And then I'm just going to title this is actually going to be an article from Newsella or News ELA all about fossils. So I'm just going to title it Fossils. All right. And then I need to make this one again is still going to be portrait, but if you have a PDF that is mostly landscape, then you can always reverse these numbers and make it 11 by 8.5 instead of 8.5 by 11. Now, one thing you cannot do in Google Slides is you cannot combine a landscape and a portrait PDF in one slideshow. That is just not possible. So now that I have my slideshow ready, I went and found the article off of Newsella, which is free right now for the remainder of the 2019-2020 school year. So please be sure to join that. It's an amazing resource. I have already uploaded it to pdf-to-image.com and created a zip file with each image. Then I'm going to take those photos and I am going to start inserting them as the background. I believe that PDF is going to be about 6 pages. Okay, and then scoot this over. We can find that from here. Pardon me, clearing my throat. Then I'm actually going to do the background. And I'm going to do this for each page, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have added all of my images as backgrounds for every page of my PDF. Now I'm going to zoom in because I'm going to add some interactive elements so that my students can more easily answer these questions. So for this one, for my students to show their answer, I want them to use these circles. So I'm going to put some circles at the top, and I'm going to use this paint bucket to make the inside transparent, use this to make the line, and then I'm going to make it real thick so it looks like that. And then I'll use a text box to add more directions up here, and I'll just say, using the circle, select the correct answers. Now, you're like, but there's only one circle. Now, you cannot do an infinite cloner in Google Classroom, but you can do where you make a bunch of them, and then you line them all up. And then, when your students go to grab a circle, there will always be another one behind it. So that is another trick of Google Classroom. Now I know I didn't go too in depth with the controls of Google Classroom or this dashboard, but I felt like it was fairly self-explanatory and there is nothing really new up here besides that you can search for images straight from the web. and you can also insert videos straight into a slideshow a little bit more easily than you can with PowerPoint. But overall, I feel like I've covered most of the features that you will be needing to use. Again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. I am available, and thank you so much for watching. Just gonna make it a little thinner.